So the first thing that you should do, and this is quite important, I think, we will be going through this training in the order that you should go when you set up your business. Not in the easiest order to understand, but more in the correct order that you should do the steps when you're setting up your business, because this will make your life much easier and it will save you a ton of time, I promise. So just follow along with me. So the first thing that you should do is go to the Get Started page and start completing this checklist over here. You can do it in any order, but it's good to complete it. So first, I like to go to the general settings and set up my thing. Here you set up your business name, your industry, your business description. This you can disable in the beginning. You enable it, and it basically means that you start you enable all SEO, and all of your pages go into the sitemap. So this is basically the enable search engine indexation button. Then you choose your language and currency. We support all languages and currencies pretty much. If your language is not on the list, please just like go to the live chat, ask for it, and we'll immediately translate the platform, even if it's for one person. Then we go on to add the address and the contact information and the phone. Now, this information is actually really important. Some people skip it, and this is a problem. It dramatically increases the conversion rate, because if people are going to buy your product, they either know you personally, or if they don't, they are always going to do a legit check. And these help a lot with the legit check. If there's like a real company, a real address, a real phone, and a real website, people have a lot more trust in buying your products. So then what I like to do is to set up the branding. You will see it's actually very simple. You go in and you create two versions of your logo. It is highly recommended that you use a horizontal logo like that, where you have the logo first and then the name of your company. You can have different versions and configurations of your logo. That's completely fine. Then you set the size and the dimensions of your logo. You have a favicon, the colors of your theme. You can choose whether you're going to use the light or the dark theme. This is an example of using the light theme, and I am using the dark one. So here you can have a bunch of settings on how you want your branding to look, and you can choose your font family. My personal recommendation for this is, if you're starting a new brand, just hire a designer to create a logo and branding and styling for your thing. They will create a few very common things: is a logo, a color scheme, and some fonts, and that will kind of pretty much determine your branding. This is just the standard fundamental principles of design work this way. And we also have a little bit of customization for our own academy. This is basically pretty much giving us a few gradients and so on. So this is kind of how you set up your branding. Then you move on to the payments. Right now, we only support Stripe. So here you go and create your Stripe account. If you do not have a Stripe account, you can register on stripe.com. Stripe is the biggest and frankly the best payment processor in the world. So if you can use Stripe, we do highly recommend it. I know that some people have other preferences, but Stripe has functionalities that pretty much nobody else has, and it allows you to sell more and make a lot more money. So this is highly recommended. You can check here. If you type Stripe countries, you can check if you can use Stripe. And if you are in one of these countries, you can pretty much use it. If you are not, and also Bulgaria was not on that list for a long time, my best recommendation is to use Stripe Atlas. You will find it somewhere on the Stripe website, and you can create a US corporation and run your business from the US. And then also you can kind of work with your company in your own country and use your US corporation for selling digital products globally. It's highly recommended. It's not free. The registration is about $500 to register a company, but for me, it was a lifesaver. It completely changed my life, so I highly recommend it. And that's what I'm going to say about that. Now, we will be adding more payments, just because I know this is a question that many people are going to ask. So first of all, we will be adding bank payments over here. So people can pay, bigger sums, and bank payments work pretty much everywhere. And then you will be able to use any external payment provider like PayPal or anything else that is your local payment provider via the API. We'll talk about this at the end, so I won't spend too much time about it now. Then you can also connect your custom domain. First of all, if you are running any type of business and not just a test, I highly recommend that you do it. It's extremely easy to connect your domain. You just go in here, click connect existing domain, type your domain name, and then you're going to get some settings. These settings pretty much look like this, where you need to go into your DNS handler. This is usually either the place where you purchased your domain or some service that is managing the domain, like Cloudflare. So it's something like GoDaddy domain or Cloudflare. And you need to create a DNS record that's a type A record. And what it says is basically, if somebody opens this domain, mastersacademy.com, send them to this IP, which is going to open your Skillplate website. That's just the whole thing. Then in the tracking, I recommend you do this in the beginning before you even start doing anything, before you get any visits, just so you don't forget it. You can create your Google Analytics account and a Facebook pixel, so that once you start doing campaigns further on, you can have this tracking, and you can have both your normal tracking ID and the API. This is the same for Facebook, where you have the conversion, a more modern, more accurate tracking method. So I recommend you do both every single time. Also in the tracking, if you want to add any additional codes to your website, like things like this live chat or anything like that, or additional tracking scripts, I do not recommend that you use this ever. The best way to do it is to learn how to use Tag Manager. Find a video on YouTube. It takes 10 minutes. It's really simple. And you can add your tracking ID for Tag Manager and add any types of external codes to your website and members area and so on using the Tag Manager. Now, this is the boring, annoying part, I know. And the last part of it is the policies. So in the policies, all you need to do is just go in, add your name, add your data protection officer, and take a look at the policies. You will be we have generated default policies that pretty much work for you, and unless you are in Germany, they should probably work as a default for you. You should take a look, maybe give them to your lawyer, and if you want to change them, contact us in the live chat and we will change them for you, and in the future you'll be able to change them alone as well.